held your line, I held mine. They told you be quiet, blend into the crowd, but your heart beats thunder, it's way too loud. Every scar, every fight, it's all on display, and somehow that's what lights the way. You don't chase the spotlight, it chases you. Every step you take pulls us through. You think you're ordinary, I swear you're not. Baby, you're the spark they forgot. Do you know the way you shine? Do you know you save a life? You light up the room, yeah, without trying. You burn through the dark, set the whole world flying. Just by being you, the truth cuts right through. Do you even know? Do you even know? You light up the room. They said you'd break, but you bend instead. Turn your bruises into fireworks overhead.
All right, guys. Sorry, had the music going. I'm watching Trove Island. If you guys do not go to Trove, his channel, he has 85 subscribers. He should have more. And Trove, Trove, plays a live stream every day with the GameStop ticker price. Right now, it's $20.94. I did buy some for my birthday. I bought it at $20.01. I was okay. Feel good about it. Still feel good about it. I'll update you on that. It wouldn't matter. We're going to go to the websites today. Let's go do this really quick because we have a show to do. We got a whole show to do, so I appreciate you guys. If you're here on the replay, sorry that it's late notice on the live stream. I wasn't even going to go live. I just decided to go live because I'm having some good stuff. So here we go. So baseball, $25. Let's go see what we got. Okay? I'm going to do it. Your power pack is on. There we go. Let's go see what we get. Oh, I love it already. Tony Gwynn, my man, 1988 Tony Gwynn. This is a card I'll keep forever. Will I? I mean, give me a break, man. 1988 Tony Gwynn, big baseball, tops. I'm checking it out. The guy's a Hall of Famer. He's already had a great career. You just hang on to the card forever. There it is. Hold for now. Thank you. Hold for now means hold forever. Thank you. I could have respun on that and gone, because I was looking at some of these cards. Guys, look at it. You can get the 1909 cards. They're there. They're here. I know it's not Horace Wagner, but I mean these cards are worth something. $400 a piece. You even got the Yogi Berra card right here. Look at that bad boy. That's something you'd hang on to forever. I mean, I would. That's just me. Baseball is phenomenal. I like this. Way better than football, by the way. There's no football card you have to have. They're all trash. I'm not buying football cards. But when I look at baseball cards, and I mean, even a Mookie Betts, look at this rookie card, $800. That's crazy. Look at the Mickey Mantle. You can get a Mickey Mantle right here. I don't care if it's a 1.5 graded. Not one bit. It's a 1954 Mickey Mantle. So these cards are there for you. I'm excited about it. Look at this one. Who's this? Rod Carew? Hank Allen? Rod Carew, rookie card. Not bad at all. If you don't know who Rod Carew is, Angels. And he had 3,000 hits in his career. Yoshimoto. Hey, Yoshi got an autograph card rookie, and he's going to win the Cy Young in about a week or two. Maybe it'll be announced real soon. He's one of the finalists, one of the top 3 finalists. So those are solid cards at 40, at 50. At the $100 mark, holy hell, Jackson Holly, another Mickey Mantle. These are real chase cards, guys. These are them. Tom Seaver rookie card. These are some good chase cards. Don Drysdale, Aaron Judge don't care for. I don't need the new cards. I give me the old ones. Look at the platinum. Oh, yeah. Cal Ripken Jr. PSA 10. on a rookie card. Oh, is that even? I mean, that's phenomenal. Joe DiMaggio, Jackie Robinson. Who gives a damn if it's a PSA 1? Look at that damn thing. You got the card. Otani. Yeah, Otani's got to be worth something, huh? Look at that bad boy. Independence Day Otani PSA 10. Look at that. Beautiful. We all know he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time. If you're not paying attention, Shohei, he is breaking every record known to man. He's already won 2 World Series. And then here we go. The top card of the stack right now is going to be the Ernie Banks rookie card right there. Ernie Banks is 7.5. Oh, man, there's some real collectors out there probably looking for this stuff. Oh, I like this. Shohei, only 20 of them autographed. That looks beautiful. Orange refractor. I mean, that's just phenomenal. So, yeah, baseball looks like it's going to be fun. I don't need this Nick Kurtz guy. I mean, what has he done? What has he done? He had one good year? Get him out of here. Win that card, sell it back. Don't get me started. Give me Otani O'Day all day. Give me the Mickey Mantle PSA 8 1960s Topps card. Look at this. Phenomenal. I don't even know. Man, life's good. Anyway. All right, so that was my Power Packs part. Open up a card. Let you guys know it's real. It's going on. I love Yoshi, but Skis will win the Cy Young, and he should. All Skeens. Yeah, I guess. Whatever. The older the berry, sweeter the juice. He said berry. He meant Burry. Dr. Burry, as you guys know, he closed down his fund. If you didn't hear about it, he did. And there's a lot to go over. Okay, hey, that was my GameStop portion of the show. Let's go talk about this bullshit part. Remember I told you guys, and this is where I keep receipts and I check back in with you guys. I told you months ago that there is a fraud and a fake and a phony in this world. And he's on Twitter right now, and he's posting left and right. And I told you, be aware and know that the information coming out is a lie. It's a factual lie. They pump this information to you to get you out of the way. And I'm going to show you exactly what it's all misleading and it's all bullshit. So here you go. So this is the guy I showed you a month ago, month and a half ago, 2 months ago. Nicholas Pantano. I need all hands on deck right effing now. I figured out a month ago BlackRock was engineering a POI to split next year's super macro percentage runs into 4 tickers. So we can't make big money. I mean, what in the hell is this guy talking about? Honestly, what is he talking about? And then he proceeds to list GameStop common shares, GameStop's warrants, AMC common shares, and HYMC. Why stop there? Why stop there? I believe we're watching literally the first stage of the play out in the first of our eyes. The 30% run I called for in AMC earlier this week looks like it's been siphoned into HYMC's algorithm. Oh, you just figured that out on your own? It was just an HYMC? And you just, out of all the stocks in the world, I want to pay attention to this one. Which means that the AMC run this week was snubbed. It was migrated to HYMC's algo to hide it. What that means is, if correct, that we're about to experience something market-wide, forcing GameStop to 18 and 19. This is the same guy that said 18 and 19 on GameStop 5 months ago. Yes. It didn't happen, did it? Okay, cool. You can say 18 and 19 all you want. It's got nothing to do with HYMC and AMC. I need every single technical analysis follower on here to dive into the HYMC right now. If you can find anything that shows we are primed to continue this 12% run into tomorrow, or the sequence ends here, scream it out in the comment section. Why anyone would listen to this piece of shit and or run with it, now he is blasting information about HYMC. It is gross. It is gross, it is uneducated, and it is unwarranted. I hope people know. Here's my YOLO update. Marantz, boom. Cost average came down. I'm now at $23.80. Officially $56,039.80 into GameStop. Doing it right. Taking my time. Walking to the water. Isn't that amazing? $20.95 right now on GameStop. Guys, these are rock bottom prices with volume actually ticking up today. Volume's actually got a little bit more today than it was the previous day. Well, no, it was dead yesterday. But this is your stock falling down until it hits the concrete, and we'll find out where that concrete is. And look at that. Phenomenal push down. I'm very, very excited. This is the monthly. This is the weekly, still holding. And this is the daily. Touching the line, touching the bottoms. Still not to the bottom of this one, which is one thing. Okay. We're there. But nonetheless, we got to go there now. We got to figure it out from there. We'll figure it out. I'll figure this whole chart out. It wouldn't matter. I don't care what they do. How far they want to bring it down. Somewhere is going to be the bottom. Somewhere. We just got to find it. If we can hold right here over 2076, we're okay. It's 2073. Or maybe if not, I mean, we're okay, period. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Matter of fact, I won't even be looking at the chart. It doesn't matter. Okay? For me, not at all. Fundamentals mean everything. I saw GameStop increase that. What the hell is that? Whoa. I don't know why my computer just makes noise out of nowhere. What page do I have open that's making noise? None of them should be making noise. I don't get messages anywhere. It's weird. It's just weird. Anyway, I don't have much time. I wonder how much money does it cost them to do that? A lot. Horace Wagner. Yeah, that card's amazing, huh? Yo, Morantz, what do you think about the 2 million volume the other day? Super low, and I don't think that it's been that low in a long time. Yeah, we talked about it, Doc. It hasn't been. It was 2.8 and then like 2.4, 2.3. There's just no way that it's this low. And everybody's in here, right? Everyone's buying the stock. And for me, what it looks like is this, okay? It's just what it looks like from afar. If we're looking at the whole market, look at the whole market all you want. Everyone's making money. Everyone's excited about the stock. Everyone's excited about, and when I say the stock, I'm talking about like NVIDIA, AI companies, Palantir, all the big boys that are all getting pumped right now. Getting pumped by private equity, getting pumped by everyone on Wall Street, really. Everyone's like, this is a no-brainer. You can't lose. You got to win. And because short-term investors need to take profits and need to show profits and need to show why they're so great at what they do. And you can't lose here because you're going with the crowd and the crowd's walking you to the inevitable end. When does it happen? I don't know. But Michael Burry, who's a long-term investor, closes down his fund and says, hey, I'm going to sit here on my own trade, show you what it is. He has the conviction to show you his trade and then say, okay, come get me. Because there's a lot of things that don't make sense. And I'm going to go over them. Actually, I'm not even ready for this, but I'll get ready. Let me pull it up. Hold on. I'm going to be ready for that. I mean, you'll see. See how this goes. All right, well, that's coming up. Let's go look at the website really quick. If you guys don't know, inventory increased for the fourth quarter. Looks great. We got Carlton Fisk rookie cards. We got all this stuff that we're selling on the website. And we have over 13,700. Let me see what it gets to right now. 13,600. We're selling 100 cards an hour. Wow, that's not bad. So we're just selling cards and cards and cards. But we increased our inventory for Christmas, for the holidays. I'm convinced. And GameStop did that. They loaded up. Maybe they bought them all in P3 and then, or quarter three, and rolled them over. Here's the video I want to show you. And we're going to go over this video line by line. And I'll give you my insight. So shout out to MSNBC for doing this interview with none other than Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir. I have a big problem with Palantir, but we'll keep going with it. You know what I have a problem with? People finally coming up with these comparisons of what GameStop is compared to other companies. Hey, Jeremy, I have a problem with you. Because here's the thing. I don't care about projections of where we're going to be. If you can talk for 3 months about projections where we're going to be next quarter, good for you. I wouldn't care. I just know the number. It's 120. We're going to be there. Okay, great. But to start comparing, we did all these comparisons like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. You're not earth-shattering me. So I didn't like that somebody actually texted me and said, hey, you took the idea from someone. I was like, excuse me? You think this is the first time that I sat here and compared GameStop to other companies and or to Palantir or NVIDIA or anybody else? You're crazy. I have been comparing GameStop to every single company in the world for the last 5 years almost. So, yeah. And I fundamentally broke it down. So, let's go do it again. Let's go do it again because here we go with Alex Karp not figuring out why he's getting shorted and what he's mad about. And this is all going to correlate to what GameStop is, undervalued versus overvalued, all the good stuff.
Expectations in a big way. The company issued better than expected fourth quarter guidance. Shares down in the pre-market this morning. We'll talk about that as well. But joining us right now is somebody we've been talking about, frankly, all morning. Alex Karp is with us, Palantir CEO. Alex, it is so good to see you this morning. We had your biographer on the broadcast before, and we're speaking about you now in third person, but now we're doing it in first person. The earnings were a blowout.
Guys, this guy is full of himself like you've never seen in your life. Like when you interview Ryan, Ryan's bashful, Ryan's there, he's quirky, he's smart. He lowers himself to the level of being human. This individual, if you can see him, he's moving in his chair. He's either booger sugar or he's just feeling a certain way and he's way out of bounds. I don't know when he breathes during this whole thing. Let's go see when he's going to take a breath.
I think across the board, we can talk about maybe why the stock market reacting the way it is. But, I was listening to the call yesterday, and I wanted to, just for those who didn't get an opportunity to hear it, I think you made some fascinating points about why you think this company and maybe even yourself are so misunderstood.
Well, there are lots of easy ways to misunderstand me. I misunderstand myself, and, it's not like the super conventional playbook thing. Look, we're an anti-playbook company. If you want to do the personal version, I'm like this dyslexic, formerly and I believe currently still left of center, who actually sticks up for progressive values, which triggers, TDS loving people, because I think the Democrats aren't no longer progressive. And then the company is built in a truly sui generis, unique way, which would only be possible in America, and actually explodes every assumption of how an expert would build a software business. The more you actually know about building software, the more odd, unique, and inexplicable our rise in success, and I would say domination on the enterprise software battlefield looks and is. And then I would say one of my main issues is Palantir, because we called a lot of things that are kind of establishment views that often are viewed as kind of being super woke into question in every single assumption of Palantir. The people who piled in to Palantir were people investing their own money, often people who are not in the investor class, non-experts. And even till today, the experts sit on the sideline and say, hey, this can't be true, while the average American who invested in Palantir, and for the first time, maybe arguably since World War II, average Americans got venture returns investing in Palantir. So you have this massive divide between the average person who evaluated themselves and the expert class that still was working on assumptions that have historically not been true, that obviously, if you look at the earnings, if you actually look at, we grew the company, I'll go through if you want to go through the numbers, but extraordinary results, and then the expert class is weak-kneed, and the retail people are all in. So, but in fairness...
But that's what I wanted to ask you about. In terms of because there is a misunderstanding. Clearly, you look at the analysts. Most analysts, think that this stock is overpriced. You have people like Michael Burry out there shorting it. Everybody who's shorted this stock thus far has been on the losing end of it. And I'm trying to understand, just if you look at sort of the growth trajectory, the sales, how much of the sales, frankly, I think actually even there was a huge part coming from even existing customers, and just what the scale of this thing ultimately looks like in your mind.
Okay, there are two parts. Of course, when I hear short sellers attacking what I believe is clearly the most important software company in America, and therefore in the world in terms of our impact.
I don't know. I had to pause it for a second. Of course, the CEO would call his company the most important and the most impactful, but he owns millions and millions of shares of this company. He sells millions and millions of shares of this company every quarter, every chance he gets. So if he believed that it were valuable and or of value, he sold over 400-something thousand shares already, guys. Just so that we're clear, $60 million worth of shares easily, and that's a problem. But he's worth over $1 billion because of this company. So for someone to believe in it and the growth of it or the valuation, and to be selling, I know some people tell you that's the way they get their salary. That's not how CEOs work. That's not how founders work. This guy's been with the company since 2004, since the inception, and you wouldn't be selling off unless you knew you were at the peak of your valuation, a la Jensen Hung and numerous other people. There are people out there like Bezos who hung on until he retired and got out of the way and now started selling. Great. And I'm talking about at large amounts. Bill Gates doesn't necessarily, cash out on his people. Even a lot of other people. I can tell you Costco and I can tell you Apple, and a lot of those CEOs and executives don't sell the bulk of their shares, the majority of them. But these guys are selling, and they're going to continue to sell as it runs through because they're creating value for themselves. They know this is not a sustained run. It cannot be held. But we'll keep going on with the fundamentals, and we'll talk about this right here.
Simply to make money, and trying to call the AI revolution into question, where we have this anomalous numbers, 114, rule of 40, et cetera. It just is super triggering because these people, they could pick on any company in the world. They have to pick on the one that actually helps people, that actually has made money for the average person.
And what he keeps saying makes money for the average person is the retail investors all ran to this company. This company used software to manipulate people to join in and at these valuations. To be selling at 75, 85 times sales, to be selling at a PE ratio of 500 plus up to 600 plus, there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to buy the most expensive stock in the history of the New York Stock Exchange and or the NASDAQ now that they've been awarded there. I'd even tell you privately when people were going into this company, when I was looking at the fundraising, they would raise $50 million and the valuation would go up X amount of billion. Like to be coming into it at an IPO, when they IPO'd in 2020, you were looking at a stock that was going to be worth 40 million, 50 million. We're at 500 million. And that's the problem. That's the very big problem for what you see. And this is why they're being shorted by Dr. Michael Burry. Just to give people context about being shorted by Michael Burry and why, we'll go to recently viewed. Let me go. Is it here anywhere? No, I don't even have it on that list. Oh, my goodness. Palantir right here. So this is Palantir stock. And just so that we're clear, it didn't just start like yesterday. It's been around for 25 years. But this right here in January of 2023, they were down to $5 a share. Okay, $5 a share. And Almo's telling me this is the greatest company of all time. He believes in it because they do have the government contracts. They are partnered up with the Department of Defense, CIA, and every other three-letter agency in the world. These guys have that partnership. Their AI ties. Everything is there. But you cannot tell me that you go from $5 to $200. You're a 40x company. We went 40x our valuation, and no one wants to explain the sustained push, yet all you've returned is $1 billion in sales. Net profit, I'm so sorry, $1 billion in profit. So very similar on fundamentals to GameStop, believe it or not, however you want to look at it. But when I look over here at Palantir, boom. And I'll make this fit your screen in a minute. We're good. So Palantir right here, just so that we're clear, the metrics that we're measuring are going to be market cap, which is $400 billion right now. Because Michael Burry announced he's shorting, people started selling, got out of the way. Revenue is $3.9 billion, very similar to GameStop. Net income is $1.1 billion, going to be double what GameStop's income is. Double, yes, I get that. They are very high for the moment. Considering they don't have many customers, it's a little struggling for me. But the PE ratio is ridiculous. I don't even care about forward PE ratio. What they're projecting for the next 2 years can't compare to what GameStop's doing for the next 2 years. Percentage-wise, sure. Their price target is 166. That means they're still over the mark on this. So they're about $12 billion too much. They're probably around $400 billion according to some people. But when you go into the financials of this company and you look at it and you go, okay, well, we're making this kind of money. The revenue growth is there. That's what people are looking at. Revenue growth is there because annually, look at this revenue growth. It's everywhere. The smallest quarter, 827, compared to last year on the given calendar year was 608. So you're up 230%, 36% every quarter. It's that big. It's going bigger and bigger and bigger. And I get all of that. I do. I just think the valuation for what they're being given has already been priced in. So balance sheet wise, them sitting on $1.61 billion worth of cash. They do have short-term securities investments, but it comes out to 6.4. GameStop's at around, after this whole year right now, as we're cruising into it with the warrants, you're looking around $11 billion for GameStop. GameStop's almost double their cash and assets on hand. So they do have similar current ratio, and I get that part. I really do. It's just a company that has lost money traditionally over all these years, finally making back their money. Shareholder equity is there, but that shareholder equity is spread out over 2 billion shares, so their book value is $2.41. That, or $2.77, I apologize. So it's not what you think it is. It can't be, because the price and what's left of it for equity is not there. There's a whole lot of hot air, is what everyone knows. So very overvalued.
That is actually supporting our war fighters. Why do they have to go after us? And I'll tell you what, though, it's crazy motivating, because I'll tell you why the short sellers are constantly getting screwed by Palantir. Because every time they short us, we just are like tripling down on getting the better numbers, and part, honestly, to make them poorer. But okay, so the question of like the actual power of the business and what is it worth.
Realize they also do mark-to-market accounting, so they front-load the contracts onto the revenue. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them lie to you. There's so many times that they have front-loaded complete contracts at the beginning, and that inflates the number. So at some point, it's going to slow down Palantir. At some point, the water's going to get dry, and we know this. This is NVIDIA 2.0. This is you. Even CoreWeave has these same issues, but a lot of you guys that are manipulating money and markets, one thing. I'm still waiting for the depreciating assets on the other side of the data center build out. But all you guys are claiming you're all doing the same thing. So I'd love to see the value.
I mean, at the end of the day, one of the things that is actually in the book, the biography, and that I actually think you always have to ask is the person persuasive or are they right? And across all sorts of movements, political, I mean, you see this on the regressive part of the Democratic Party. We're about to probably have a complete disaster. I was born in New York. But if you actually said, do these things actually work? Everyone's like, of course I'm not going to vote for that. But instead they ask, does it work in theory? The theoreticians, you have to ask, how often have you been right? And Palantir is about pragmatic decisions that create unfair advantages for America and its allies. And on that, we've been right for almost 20 years on all major decisions, and I believe we'll be right going forward. Now, you could argue, I don't know, like they're constantly like, but they thought Palantir was overvalued at 10. They thought it was overvalued at 20. I'm not even here saying what the valuation is. I'm just saying find a company in the world that has a rule of 114, that has U.S. commercial growing at 121%, that aggregate growth in the U.S. is 77%, that has throwing off free cash flow in a way that's anomalous, and that is fully aligned with our customers. And you figure out the value, but they're in the business of being skeptical and being wrong, and we're in the business of giving an unfair advantage to American workers, American warfighters, and our investors.
I mean, how much money do you think you would have to make for the $1 billion, $1.1 billion of profit? How many years would you have to be in business to make the $400 billion valuation? It's that simple. That's the math. It's not, how do you feel about it? Can you explain it? Are you saying you're undervalued? I mean, if that's the case, I'd like to know, because you're selling shares, but you can't fool me. You can preach it. You can try to sell it like you are right now. I think being out in front of CNBC and being in front of the TV and posting like this, because Dr. Michael Burry posts a short position and explains these short positions to this whole market. And Dr. Michael Burry's not wrong. He's extremely correct. We know that. You know that. And that's why you're here. The minute it gets announced, we got to get him in front of the cameras. We got to do damage control. That's how I see it. Do you know what Ryan Cohen said? Ryan Cohen's going to say the same thing anyone else would say, including yourself. He's going to say, short it, let him short. That's the difference, Alex. You see, you want me to believe in you? You want me to believe in what you're saying right now? I'll believe in you, Alex, if you do what Ryan does. Ryan comes out, Ryan does an interview here and there, maybe once a year, twice a year, whatever, maybe once every 2 years, and he'll say, let them short. And then he'll go buy $10 million of the stock. Not sell it, buy it. He'll buy it at that price, wherever it's at right now. The price today on GameStop, just so we're absolutely clear, factually clear, is below Ryan Cohen's buy-in over this last year. Okay? That means we're getting value. But Ryan believes in his investment, in his company, and he says, short the stock. I'm going to go buy it. You're not exposed on this stock at all. You're doing damage control for your investors and for the market itself. because this market props you up. AI props you up. Only reason why you have this valuation because AI tracks it. So I'm just telling you, I call bullshit until I see you put your money in at these valuations you claim are not overvalued. You don't even value the relationships that you're claiming are valuable. How am I supposed to believe you if you don't believe you?
Short is a very difficult place to be because you can lose everything, right? You can drive these people into the ground.
Thank God.
Like that. Michael Burry put a really big bet on it. It's almost $1 billion. It's $912 million. That's a big...
She's stupid. Stupid, right? It's not $912 million. These guys just post anything at this point. It was $9.2 million. That's it. $9.2 million worth of puts. Yeah, I know. You got times by 100. I get it. Gets access to some shares at that price. It's an exercise. Maybe that'll be a great amount for him to make. But this whole he shorted 912. He did not. It wasn't $1 billion short position.
A step for him to put into that. When you say you redouble your efforts, what do you do? What do you go back in?
Well, first of all, he's actually putting a short on AI. So the way I read it was us and NVIDIA, and it's like
the biggest position is you, though.
Yeah.
I'm just looking through all of his shorts.
Great. Okay. So, and then, by the way, with the shorts, it's very complex. It's not even clear that, honestly, I think what is going on here is market manipulation. We delivered the best results anyone's ever seen. It's not even clear he's not doing this to get out of his position. I mean, these people, they claim to be ethical, but, they're actually shorting one of the great businesses of the world. And I'm not against shorting as a matter of theory, but I'm just saying pick something that is not doing a noble task. And, it's us against them, and that's a good position for us. I mean, look, when you're printing a rule of 114, again, people who aren't technical, I think roughly an incredible score, like an Olympic grade score on rule of 14 is like 50. I mean, that's roughly like if you're between 50 and 7, you're an Olympic athlete, a unique implement athlete. This is like Michael Phelps like score, like Michael Jordan. Like there are no scores like this. And 121 growth off of almost a 1.5 run rate in U.S. commercial, and a 77% growth in the U.S., and an aggregate off of an aggregate base of $4.5 billion. By the way, I predicted we'd get here. So, it's like if you want to short that, be my guest. You go ahead. We're just going to go do our things. I mean, look, I'll tell you, there's a tale of two cities in our society. We need experts versus retail. And you see it like, I don't know why these newspapers are helping Mandani win. I don't know why we can't have honest discussions about our future. I don't know why we have to allow fentanyl attack. But it's almost always sympathy for the expert that doesn't need it, the short seller that has some ridiculous reason for doing something against.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
I mean, most of GDP growth in this country is because of AI. The real question is, how do we grow that and expose...
Most of GDP growth is because of AI. CapEx. Not because of revenue growth versus sales of some kind or growth there's nothing to the bottom line. It's CapEx. It's company versus company. It's business to business. It is not consumer to business. So don't tell me that the revenue growth is because of AI, as you call it. It's just everyone spending money with each other and other people calling it gains. You're ridiculous, dude. This is ignorance at its finest. This is what they do. They get in front of the TV, they say shit, and people don't know the difference.
Workers. What is the worker available GDP? That's the question for our society. Instead of aligning on that, we've got these completely. And again, if the numbers weren't there, great, be my guest. But then the numbers are there. So then you're not. It's not even clear he's actually shorting us. It's probably just how do I get my position out and not look like a fool? I don't know, but I do think this behavior is egregious, and I'm going to be dancing around when it proves it's proven wrong.
Right. Alex, we've heard a lot of talk from the likes of a Michael Burry, but more broadly about whether we're in an AI bubble, whether the economics make sense. Clearly, in the context of Palantir, they do make sense insofar as you're printing money over there. Not everybody in the AI space is printing money in the same way, and they're spending an enormous amount on chips, data centers, and the like. How do you see the broader space right now in terms of just how things are developing?
There are two subtle issues in AI. What is the addressable market, and what is the addressable market for things that work? Meaning you make more money and the quality of the money is higher. So top line and bottom line grow. Palantir, we're in the business of a part of the addressable market where it works and it can be quantifiable, either commercially or on the battlefield. So clearly, and over time, you're going to have Pareto optimality, meaning that every part of the stack is going to have to create more value than they charge. That's just obvious. And if that doesn't happen, it will be a bubble. And, I'm sorry, short sellers can't tell the difference between products that work and products that don't, but these numbers should show you that there's a part of the market that, quote you, is printing cash, and it looks like that part of the market is the part we own. There's a separate question, by the way, which I think is equally relevant. What part of the GDP growth is available for workers, what we call worker available GDP? And that's like one of the unique things about Palantir is whether it's on the battlefield, like the people writing the scripts for these very complicated operations, or building batteries or doing things on the factory floor are being enhanced by our product. And those two questions are going to define arguably the future of what happens in this country. Does GDP grow because of AI, which only can happen if there's Pareto optimality, or in what the way we see it, the customer pays less than the value they create, which is abnormal, not exactly equal Pareto optimality. And that it's unknown, honestly. You have this massive growth, but currently, as far as I can tell, the two companies he's shorting are the ones making all the money, which is super weird. Like the idea that chips and ontology is what you want to short is batshit crazy.
Okay, cool. Whatever you say, bro. I'm doing something for you guys. I'm trying to get it up for you right now because it's so stupid. So I'll explain. This guy's bragging about something that I want you to see. So what he's saying here is the 114, and he's going to tell you this. There's 114%, and it's our rule of 40 score. And that's going to be your year-over-year growth, revenue growth, plus your EBITDA margin. So that's how you get that total. And it's easy to say for a company that's never reported anything, that's brand new, that's going through it, IPO'd in 2020, and finally has these numbers on the book. Okay? It's even better or even harder to give you the valuation of a company like GameStop that's in a complete turnaround state, and you never know the true number because it's almost like GameStop swimming in the deep end. You don't know the bottom. You don't know how tall they are. You don't know what their strength is. But once they get out of the water, you're going to go, holy shit, that's Michael Phelps. Like, that's what it's going to be like. Because GameStop right now is treading water in a deep end of 6,000 stores, a deep end of $9 billion worth of sales, a deep end of margins in the 20s, and a deep end of product that was losing dollars all along. But as they're fixing and they're getting better, they're going to start emerging and showing themselves. It's an iceberg. It's an absolute iceberg. 90% of GameStop you can't see because of the market and the numbers that are shown. So for people to brag about what they are out loud in the open, that's awesome. What Alex Karp is not figuring out, or what he cannot understand about a short against his company and valuation being over the amount that you would, is that stock markets are about what just happened? No, they're about what will happen. So just because your company printed an amazing number, I ask you, mark-to-market accounting companies that I put you in a separate category, at what point are we going to acknowledge that you can't maintain or keep up with those contracts and with those commitments moving forward? This is the problem that I've had with NVIDIA. This is the new problem I'm having with Palantir, because you can show me number after number after number, and I'm going to show you commitment from private equity, from government stocks, from everybody. I understand what you guys are and who's doing it, but you're not at that $400 billion valuation just yet. And I don't want to say just yet. I mean, you're nowhere near it right now. Because if you are, then maybe you don't know what GameStop is. Maybe everyone's oblivious to what GameStop is and can be and will be. But PSA graded cards are going to get you there. Fundamentals are going to get you there. But no, it's cash. It's cash deployed on investments. It's a return on your assets, return on equity deployed, return on equity, period. When that goes through for GameStop, you got to remember all these other guys are deploying cash and investing it and trying to keep up. I don't know what you could do with your cash if you're Palantir. I mean, what partnership am I missing? You guys claim to be a software service that's providing service, so then it would be people coming to you for a product, not you going to them saying, hey, we're going to partner up and I'm going to buy your business. Because I will tell you this, Palantir, and maybe you forgot about this, but Palantir, since going public in 2020, has made 12 angel investments over the last 5 years, all of whom seem to be their clients today. So do you know what that tells me? I'm going to play your bullshit, Alex Karp, but you know what that tells me? That you guys put money into 12 companies, and those 12 companies now in turn are your customers. So you tell me where the money stops, because I'm going to show you circular finance once again. That is you, Palantir. That is you, NVIDIA. That is you, CoreWeave. That is you, ARM Holdings. That is you, Supermicro Computers. That is you, Oracle. That is you, OpenAI. That is the market. And that is the problem with this whole S&P. That is the problem with the Batman stocks. That is the problem with the Mag 7 stocks. They're holding each other up. It is ring around the rosy, and we all fall down. I still buy GameStop. Nothing else. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop. GameStop. The only stock that's not getting true valuation on the market. The only stock that's trading at cash value. And the only stock that they don't talk about. Not a single analyst in the world covers GameStop. That should ring alarm bells. That should be the smoke that you've ever seen in your lifetime. Tell me it's a terrible company. Tell me I should sell it. Tell me I shouldn't buy it. Tell me something. But nobody covers GameStop. We do. Peace, millionaires.